Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to the weekly Thursday morning edition of the Household Express. I am Sister Amara, joined by my chef, by my co-host, Chef Zakia Takari, and we're delighted to be in your company up to 11 a.m. this morning. Assalamu alaikum, Zakia. How are you?
Wa alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah. How are you, Appa?
Alhamdulillah, New Hope. All the listeners are enjoying the lovely weather. Yesterday we had a bit of rain. Alhamdulillah, shukr for that. And may the upcoming days also, Allah grant us beneficial rain and beneficial weather for everyone, inshallah. Ameen. Well, a lovely day today. Well, Thursday, already the 6th of Rabiul Akhir, corresponding to the 10th of October. And there's lots to look forward to in today's program. First up, an interview with Sister Sarah Suleiman. And today we're traveling all the way to Mozambique. So I'm quite excited to have our guests all the way from Mozambique. And in the cooking segment, Zakia, what can we look forward to today?
So we are going a little simple today, and we are just going to be speaking about anything cooking and baking related.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and we welcome basically all your cooking, baking questions or concerns. It's basically an open line discussion today. 072-786-1548 is our WhatsApp number. You can WhatsApp all your cooking or baking questions or concerns on that number. And our trivia question for today is a quite interesting one. Which spice is derived from the crocus flower and is one of the most expensive spices in the world? I'd like to repeat that again. Which spice is derived from the crocus flower and is one of the most expensive spices in the world? That is our food trivia question for today. You can WhatsApp your answers to 072-786-1448. And the recipe you can look forward to is from our guest, Sister Sarah Suleiman from Mozambique. It's a Mozambique-style prawn recipe. Certainly looking forward to today. Our guest today is a dynamic woman who has lived in various countries, bringing a world of flavors to her kitchen. Known for her quick and unique recipes on TikTok, her creations are an absolute must-try. With some of her videos reaching over 1 million views, she certainly knows her way around the kitchen in a style that's all her own. Her recipes are sure to leave you feeling like a chef indeed. Assalamu alaikum, Sarah. How are you?
Wa alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah. How you guys?
Alhamdulillah, and you, Sarah. Great to have you on the program all the way from Mozambique.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
A pleasure. Sarah, growing up in Mozambique, how did the local flavors and ingredients shape your approach to cooking?
Actually, Mozambique cooking is all about fresh and local food and bold flavors. Mm-hmm. So the flavors that come from Mozambique, are from mixed cultures that we got here, like African, Portuguese, Indian, and even Arab. Mm-hmm. And we always use, fresh chilies in our cooking and coconut. They are very common in our cooking. So I use this type of ingredients and I make a fusion with my touch and my culture. So, and I try to make easy recipes and delicious for our family. And also, Mozambique is known more from prawns.
Yes.
And we are best on making this.
Mm-hmm, lovely, yes. And your spices in Mozambique, is it different to the spices we get here in South Africa?
Actually, it's not so different. One thing that when I lived in South Africa, I saw that in South Africa, we use so much sauces. Mm-hmm, and in Mozambique, we keep it simple, like garlic, chili paste, and vinegar, lemon, and not so much spices. But since I gone to South Africa, I learned a little bit about the South African, and I make a fusion of all that in my recipes.
Okay, so you basically, there isn't much sauces that you use in your cooking, but you love South African style of sauces. We have a whole large variety of sauces, and I'm sure you must be taking some of that home with you to Mozambique.
Yes. Actually, in Mozambique, we get everything that is South African. And actually now I'm living in Portugal, and it's very difficult to get all this kind of sauces. So I have to make some, try this one, try that one, and try to make the fusion and see if it's getting the flavor that I like.
Okay, lovely. Now, Sarah, you've lived in several countries. How has your time in South Africa and now Portugal influenced the way you create and develop your recipes?
In South Africa, the food is incredible, diverse. Actually, the African culture and Indian culture and European culture, I think, is also in South Africa, this type of culture. And the love of braai in South Africa, that teach me the value of cooking in fire, and use, the marinades and the sauces and all that. And I remember first time also in South Africa, I tried making impala. It was really first time because in Mozambique we don't have that kind of meat, and it was a different experience. And now in Portugal is Mediterranean cooking. We just focus in high quality of ingredients like olive oil, fresh fish, garlic. Here is just simple cooking, not so much bold. And I had some roots from Portugal in Mozambique because Portuguese was Mozambique was Portuguese colony.
Yes, correct. Yes. Now, do you get all the different types of vegetables in Portugal like we get here in South Africa? Tell us about that.
Actually, some of them we get, but especially the Indian vegetables we hardly get. And, the butter squash and all that we don't get. Sometimes we have to deal with that. There's no way without it.
Okay, and do they not sell maybe the frozen veg like we get? They even sell the frozen Indian veg here in South Africa and the fresh. So do they perhaps sell the frozen Indian veg there in Portugal?
The frozen we get because we got the UK near us, and UK, is mostly Indian things that comes there, and we get the frozen this side.
Okay, what about baking ingredients? Do they actually sell South African baking ingredients there in Portugal?
Actually, we order them from Netherlands because Netherlands, I think, got some roots from South Africa. I'm not sure, but Netherlands look like South Africa. It looks like South Africa. So most of ingredients that we get in Netherlands, is similar as South African. So we get like this type.
Okay,
and some of them we just import and take it here.
Is it expensive to import?
Yeah, very expensive. Very expensive. Something that is, I think, 100 Rand here, you're going to pay for 500.
It's very expensive. No, it is expensive, yes. It is expensive. Yes, it is expensive, yes. Now, Sarah, many of your TikTok videos have gone viral. What do you think makes your recipes resonate with such a wide audience?
Actually, I think the reason my TikTok recipes went viral, I think because they are simple. They are simple. I use simple, easy to follow steps. And I use, ingredients that people have in their house. And one of the things also that I think that it got viral is because I love exploring different countries. And I do try to bring in my audience different types of food. Not only one type. For example, not only Mozambican food. I bring the South African, I bring the Mozambican, and sometimes I bring the Portuguese also. And, if I go to a country, recently I gone to Saudi and I try kabsa, I try to recreate, but I use my touches, and I try to make it easy as possible. And I also show to my audience.
Now, when you travel, it seems like you're traveling a lot, Sarah. When you travel, how do you incorporate the food cultures you experience into your own cooking?
Actually, because the food cultures, I use my chilies. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Actually,
yes.
I use my chilies in everything. I like spicy, and I know that South African people like spicy. So I make a fusion of the food. Like I put my touch. I incorporate my touch. I use for example, here in Portugal, we use so much olive oil. Yes. And olive oil. Even in my curries, I use that. So I incorporate like this, and I try to make it simple and delicious.
Okay, and yes, certainly. Now, so for someone who loves adventure and learning about different cultures, what is your favorite international dish to cook and why?
My favorite is brigadeiros. You know what is brigadeiro?
No, please tell us about that.
Brigadeiro is a Brazilian truffle. It's very simple to make. I always enjoy making that with my children. It's super easy, and it's just a truffle. We put everything, all the ingredients in the pot. We make that, and we make the truffle, and we pass in vermicelli.
Okay.
That's why I like to make that.
So what ingredients actually go into that dish that you mentioned?
Actually, it's just 4 ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Is 1 can of condensed milk, 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 1 tablespoon of butter, and 4 tablespoons of heavy cream. You put everything in a pot and first mix everything nicely, and then goes into the stove and mix until it comes out from the pot. It starts sticking out from the pot. And once it starts coming out from the pot, the mixture is done. You off the flame, you add in a plate, make sure you grease the plate, and you let it cool down. Once it's cooled down, you just make the balls, pass in vermicelli, and it's really super delicious.
It's a lovely sweet treat, that means, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Now,
yes.
what about, our South African style type of biryanis? Do you make it in Portugal as well?
South African style, I always use, the masalas, the shan masalas on the biryani.
Okay, yes,
So,
okay. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
We make the same thing.
You
I
make the
don't
same thing,
Make
yes.
it different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. What about pickles, achars? Do you get your green mangoes there as well in Portugal?
Green mangoes is hardly to get here.
Mm.
Especially even the ripe mangoes we get also, it comes all over from Brazil. Here they don't, there is no mangoes. It comes all from outside. So we can't make the achars. Usually whatever I get from Mozambique, or I get from South Africa, even from India, we get like this. We make that side.
Okay. So at the moment now, you're in Portugal at the moment. You're living in Portugal
Yes.
now. Okay.
Yes.
Now tell us, what about the different types of flours, like for baking? What about your rotis? Do you use a specific flour? Do you get a specific flour there in Portugal for making rotis?
Yeah, usually in South Africa, even in Mozambique, I always use baking flour, the normal one. And here I use the same one. In the beginning, when I tried to make, I didn't check. And I end up using in my roti the self-raising flour.
Oh.
And it just came out very bad.
Okay.
I didn't check that there was a baking powder inside. At home, I never make the whole wheat rotis because, in my house, nobody eats that
Okay.
like this. Yes. So we get the normal baking flour and we just use.
Okay. Yes.
And I think here usually all the ingredients are good quality. So there is no specific.
Yes, and tell me about your we have our samosas, our pies, our bhaja during the month of Ramadan, our savories. Do you make it there in Portugal as well?
Yes, I do make it. Even last Ramadan, I did share so many recipes about that. I do make everything, and here, Alhamdulillah, we get everything. All the samosa part and pie dough also, we get everything. So that's not this thing.
Alhamdulillah, yes. And what about meat? Your meat and your chicken and your fish is easily available. The best fish, the best prawns come from Portugal and Mozambique. What about your meat, your daily meat, like your lamb, your steak, and then your chickens as well?
In the beginning in Portugal, it was very difficult to get the meat and to get the butchery and all that, the halal ones. So it was hard in the beginning. But now, Alhamdulillah, in the past 2 or 3 years, we get butcheries, halal one everywhere.
Okay,
Especially
shukran.
in my place where I'm living, I have a butcher, a butchery here near me, and I do get. One thing that I hardly get here is our polony.
Oh,
Here
yes.
the polony
yes.
is not that nice.
Nice. Processed foods like a
Yes.
polony, your sausages, your
Yes,
Viennas and
yes.
things like that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They make with, they don't make with chicken. I don't know. They make with, I don't know what kind of meat they make with.
Okay. Okay. So that's the only thing you're actually basically missing out on what we have here in South Africa.
Yes, I do miss.
Okay. Before you share with us your lovely Mozambique style prawns recipe, Sarah, please share with us your Instagram account and your TikTok account details for the benefit of the listeners.
Okay, no problem. My TikTok account is Zunaid Sara, and my Instagram account is Cook with Zunsar.
Okay. Okay, so please go ahead and share with us your lovely Mozambique style prawns recipe.
Okay, no problem. Actually, use 1 kilo of prawns, and we have to clean the prawns very nicely. Then after that, I make the marinade. So the marinade is just garlic paste. And we just have to crush the garlic paste very nicely. And in the marinade, I add 2 tablespoons of garlic paste. I add fresh red chili paste. It must be as per taste.
Yes.
I add some salt for taste, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Then we just marinate the prawns for at least half an hour. And then I also make a butter garlic sauce with 125 grams of butter, juice of 1 lemon, and 2 to 3 cloves of garlic crushed. And after we marinate the prawns nicely, we're going to grill it. We have to preheat our oven for 200 degrees. And if you don't want to make in the oven, we prepare our coal. So if we're going to grill in oven, it takes 8 to 10 minutes until the prawn gets turned pink. And if you're using a coal, we grill it for 5 to 7 minutes. Once it's done, the prawns, we made the butter garlic sauce. We just add in our prawns. Then we're going to serve the prawns with the French fries and salad.
Oh, lovely. Absolutely lovely, lovely prawn. A very simple prawn recipe as well. And I see not much sauces like how we have here in South Africa, but indeed a lovely recipe. And Sarah, jazakallah khair for a lovely interview. And tell us, what's the weather like there in Portugal today?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
What's the weather like in Portugal today?
Today is warm, but it's not so. It's getting winter now. We are on the autumn time, so it's warmish, getting to winter like this.
Is the winters cold in Portugal?
Yes, very cold.
Very cold. Okay.
But sometimes I think it's not that colder as South Africa.
Oh, South Africa, yes.
In some cases, yes.
Sarah, jazakallah khair for a lovely, awesome interview, a really lovely person. May Allah grant you lots of blessings and khair and all that, and accept all your du'as. Ameen.
Ameen. Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah for a lovely interview. Sarah, you go well. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Well, that was Sister Sarah Suleiman all the way from Mozambique, Portugal. You can follow her on her Instagram page at cook_with_Zunsar. ZUNSAR. So let's go for a short break. When we come back, we're going to be having an open line discussion for any of your cooking